Hey guys, welcome back to 5 Facts. Today we're talking about Bloodborne. I'm Adam Kovic.
And I'm James Willems.
Jack got stuck in a cave trying to get some honey or something, so he asked us to take over.
Does it count as getting stuck if you intentionally go into the cave after the honey and then you spend the rest of the afternoon in that cave eating the honey?
I don't know, but at some point he's going to have to learn his lesson, and I think that's what he'll do.
Sad, sad bear.
Anyway, today we're talking about Bloodborne. This comes from Software. These guys have been making the Souls franchise for a little while now, and this is an exclusive PS4 game, which means a lot of you are probably tuning out right now.
No, more people are listening in because PS4 is the best.
You're a jerk. Okay, this game only came out a few weeks ago. We've had some time with it. We did a little drunk gameplay with it. I've been getting mad at it every night. I play about 30 minutes before I rage and throw my controller at the screen.
I had my save file corrupted by that game.
And now we're going to say very nice things about it. Let's go to the first fact. While development was being completed on the Prepare to Die edition of Dark Souls, that wasn't too long ago,
No.
Sony approached From Software and asked them if they wanted to work together on a new game. When director, you're going to have to help me out with this one, James,
Hidetaka.
I'm not trying to be mean.
Miyazaki.
I know
He's the
that
guy
one.
who makes Princess Mononoke and Castle in the Sky and all that, right?
People are getting mad at us for BSing too much. Anyway, he was asked about making a new game for the 8th generation of consoles. The concept for Bloodborne began to take shape.
And he said to himself, why don't I just make the same game again? People will buy it again.
It's totally different. You have a gun now.
Only this time with tri-corner hats.
We make jokes, but it's a great game.
And it's basically the same.
Your second fact today. From Software developed the atmosphere of the game with influences like Bram Stoker's Dracula in mind.
Are they talking about the book or the Francis Ford Coppola movie?
I'm immediately thinking of Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Wonderful accent.
That explains why the accents are so bad in this game.
But no one talks.
I used to watch Bram Stoker's Dracula when I was a kid just to see a few scenes of boobs.
You get a little, there's a bonus fact for you. Actually, real bonus fact. The reason why From Software wanted to make this game for the PS4 was because it was the best system for creating the environments that they wanted. And also, it was presented to them first.
I was going to say, what does that even mean?
I think they were paid to say that.
Yeah.
Basically.
They were like, PS4 is the only console that's identical to the other console that we could make this game on.
What's that really powerful thing over there with graphics cards that get updated every few months?
That's not a PlayStation 4. It doesn't matter to us.
Next to it is a bag of money, so shut up. Next up, fact number 3. Since the developers couldn't have made this game harder than their previous titles without making the game impossible to play, a much more aggressive combat system was created to add a greater sense of accomplishment without making the game frustrating. While I'm reading that, I do kind of disagree.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always been a thing in the Souls franchise that the combat system is just kind of confusing and not as much of a paper, rock, scissors kind of system as you could say a lot of other games are. So it's weird that they say they're making it more frustrating by changing it, but it seems like it's actually more conventional.
So if you actually played any of the other previous Souls games, it would really punish you hard for getting hit. If you don't know, in Bloodborne, which is kind of cool, if you take a hit, if you right away start fighting a guy, you get some of your health back. Which I kind of like. It does force you to be a bit more aggressive. You don't get a shield until much later in the game, and even using that doesn't really help a lot. So I get what they were going for with this, and just, I guess, overall trying to just speed up the fighting.
It takes me longer to die now when I'm covering my eyes and tapping the button with one hand while screaming like a baby.
Are you masturbating?
No, I'm playing Bloodborne.
Oh, yes, you are. Fact number 4. According to Bloodborne producer Masaki
Yamagiwa.
Thank you, James. The decision to include guns in this game was a very difficult one for the team to make. They wound up including them in the game, though, partly because they fit the game's 19th century setting.
Oh, but doesn't the other games, they have like magic wands and stuff?
They have bows and arrows.
Bows and arrows.
I think the idea, what they did with the gun in this game actually makes a lot of sense because it replaced the parry system, which I kind of like. I like the idea that even if you run out of bullets, you can just take them from your own blood. I like that system of ripping out your own health system to have a projectile weapon that helps you basically get a crit on an enemy. It's pretty cool.
It's very realistic in that way.
There's nothing realistic about this game.
But it says 19th century setting.
Can we show more of those boobs from Bram Stoker's Dracula from earlier?
Keanu Reeves boobs.
I don't think Franco shows boobs. And moving over to your final fact, number 5, when a few anonymous developers were asked about the game's long loading times, they said what the game is basically doing is resetting each asset in the area you're respawning in. You know, those horribly long load times every time you die, reminding you what game you're playing. Bloodborne. So much fun. Repositioning enemies is one thing, but fixing all of the small, detailed, and sometimes physics-based assets apparently takes a while.
Are they describing all of the barrels that are always empty that you destroy and there's never anything in them anyway, so why are all the barrels there anyway?
It makes me curious why those things are there and if it really is that important to reload things that are unnecessary, unless an enemy is behind and he jumps out at you for the 40th or 50th time.
Also, isn't this what they've been doing with this franchise since the beginning? So why does it take longer now?
You have a gun.
Because they picked the only console that could play it. The PlayStation 1.
Apparently they're working on the load times and getting those down a little bit. Sometimes I think it might just be Stockholm Syndrome, but after a while I think the load times go down, right?
Nope, that's definitely Stockholm Syndrome. They absolutely do not go down.
Oh, well, apparently if you leave your console on for 12 hours, the bosses get tired and fatigued, and they end up just going into, like, stupid mode.
Here's a fun game to play. Buy an old pocket watch, and then when the load time starts, check your pocket watch and stare at it until the load time's over. Then put your pocket watch away so it matches the 19th century setting.
Anyway, I'm Adam.
And I'm James.
And that's been your 5 facts from us. Check us out over at Funhaus if you can. Thanks, Jack. I hope you get out of that cave okay.
Good luck with all that honey.
Good honey.